my favorite time of the day. Do you know what time it is? What's my favorite time of the day, friends? Does anyone know? You're right, my favorite time of the day is math. So today we're gonna be comparing numbers. So I want you to go grab your worksheet titled Comparing Numbers and then come back and we're gonna do it together. Ready? Go. All right, I have my comparing numbers worksheet out in front of me. And for this activity, you're also gonna need some crayons or some markers or something to color with. So I have my blue marker here. What we're gonna be doing is comparing these numbers and coloring the one that is greater. And greater just means bigger. So let's start with the first one together. I'm gonna get my marker ready. And when I look at the first one, I see 5 and a 7. I'm gonna show you a little trick that will help you figure out which number is bigger. So what you can do is look at the number and draw that number of dots right here underneath. So this number in this raindrop is the number 5. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to draw 5 dots. We make a square, 1 dot on each corner, and then we put 1 in the middle. And that's how we know it's number 5. And I'm going to do the same thing for number 7. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to draw 7 dots. So again, I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So then I'm going to look at my dots and I'm going to ask myself, which number has more dots underneath? The number 5 or the number 7? Because the one that has more dots is going to be the greater number or the bigger number. So when I look at these two sets of dots, I think that number 7 has more dots. So that means that 7 is the greater number. So now I'm going to color in the number 7 because it's the greater number. All right, let's move on and try the next one together. So we have a 9 and a 2. So let's say that you don't need to draw these dots and you know just by looking at these numbers, like, oh my goodness, 2 is such a small number and 9 is such a big number. Like 9 is really close to 10, so that means it's a pretty big number. Then you should know that 9 is the greater number and you can just color in number 9. You don't have to draw the dots unless you need to. All right, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to color in the number 9 because I know that it's the greater number. All right, and then let's look at one more together. I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, which one's bigger? So this time, instead of drawing my dots or just knowing it off the top of my head, I'm going to start counting and see which number comes last. Because we always start with our lower numbers and we count up. So I'm going to start with 1 and I'm going to count and see which number comes last, 9 or 10. So count with me, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I heard 9 before number 10. So that means that number 9 is smaller than number 10 because number 10 came after number 9. So I'm going to color in number 10 now that I know it's the greater number or the bigger number. All right, friends, you have several of these to do by yourself, and some of them use bigger numbers. So if you need help, ask Mom or Dad, and then come back, and we're going to check our answers. Ready? Go. All right, so I finished doing my comparing numbers worksheet. So we're going to check our answers. So we left off on this one here. So let's start here checking our answers. So I want you to notice that on some of them, I chose to do the dot method. On some of them, I just used what I knew about numbers and thought about it. And then on some of them, I used the counting on my fingers method. So let's check this one right here. I decided to draw some dots. We have the number 6 and the number 12. So I drew 6 dots and I drew 12 dots and I compared them and I could tell just by looking that this one has much more dots. So I colored in the number 12 because it's greater. All right, on this one we have the number 9 and the number 8. So I colored number 9 as the greater number. All right, I have 4 and 8 and I drew dots again and could tell that 8 was greater. So I colored in 8 as the greater number. Down here I had 10 and I had 14. And I knew by counting that 14 was much higher than number 10. So I knew that this was the greater number. And then I had 11 and 12. So 12 is the higher number, the greater number. So I colored that one in. And then lastly I had 5 and 4. And I knew that 5 came after number 4. So 5 was the greater number. Very nice job, friends. Thank you for joining me for math today. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.